old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall.
This shit's cold. Don't know, looks like downstairs somewhere. Smells like mazout, heavy fuel shit.
The hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
Fuck does Cuno know?
Is it not the wisest man who knows he knows nothing?
Yeah, Cuno's fucking wise like that. Cuno's gonna be a real wise pig. Probably because it's winter. Some bums who camp here don't want to freeze to death. Maybe. Probably. Cuno's probably right.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering.
Been reading shit here, hooked on the book.
Soft covers, serialized fantasy. Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly like reading.
Yeah.
He has no idea what that means. Wasn't there some in the communist students' room?
Yeah, cool. Detective shit.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Cuno doesn't give a shit. Cuno's not hooked on the book. Trying to get me hooked on it. Teachers and shit.
This means we have a critical theory-loving vagrant here. Interesting. There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner.
Check this shit. Someone's been squatting here. Cuno knows because this shit looks like Cuno's place.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, without really hearing it.
Hey, Cuno doesn't want to hurt your feelings, but you look like shit. Maybe you should lie down in the bed, like recover before you die. Cool, whatever. Cuno doesn't really give a shit.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one.
Cuno don't know how to pick this lock. This one's military shit.
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs beneath the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
Fucking A, let's get this shit open. Get to the secrets behind, secret style.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall. This is B triple prime on the island, a nest, a single-person mattress, modern, civilian use, brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Motir. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Drouin, the same rare brand from Land's End. There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar. The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire, Capeside apartments, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B. The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. You see a small fleck of white on the rooftop, the upstairs window of Clausia's room, in the snow, reflecting light.
Motherfucker, you see in the window or not?
More than that.
Cuno fucking knew it. This is a sniper's nest, right? Fucking assassin action. Cuno barely understands what's happening, but he likes the shit out of it. Where? Right fucking on. Let's get a move on. We're out in the open here.
Green paint flicks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. The
Old hardware from the big power box upstairs. Circuit bender shit. Military grade. Cuno isn't a machine meister. Agent ouvert. Allumer. Radio diffusé. Yeah, why the fuck not?
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
Cuno's gonna stop you right there. This ain't gonna work. Not without the juice. You gotta fuel that shit if you want it to work. Let's look outside, maybe.
The console is powered off and covered. Nothing happened. The dial.
Whoa, told ya. Military mega grade. Also like 400 years old, I think. 1,000?
It's an air-gapped system, an off-air military model. Its circuits are nearly impossible to bend. This old cylindrical generator. The boy helps you out, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. Cuno flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up instantly. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
We're in. We're doing this.
dim golden glow animates the console.
Ah, shit! It's on! Try fucking with that one. It's...
The door comes screeching to a halt. Behind it, you see a hole in the concrete wall where light shines in.
Fucking right! Cuno doesn't know, but Cuno wants to know.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a 3-Angong 446.
Southeast Samarin made, exotic, must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
Whoa! Massive gun!
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
The fuck? No fucking way. Not on Cuno's life. Officer Cuno's got his Keel 89 pointed at your fucking head, and he is gonna blow it clean off if you don't drop your weapon right now.
Even with the intensity he's putting in those words and the fidgeting in his pocket, the kid is unconvincing.
Disarmed by a kid? To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound, a strange sadness. The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand, frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him to get a confession. in time. No reply. His leg twitches. You went in too fast. Over-eager.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my term of surrender.
Wait, like the fucking ancient army?
Yes, recruited from Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Ariane, consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8
No. I've been on other islands too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. 43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where it's morning, on Rue de Saint-Gislain, people are walking. The gas streetlights have already been switched off.
Always waiting. For her to return. Girl, child, revolution. Always. A waste. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army, like you belong to the Moralist Party. There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. What have I used it for? I've used it for killing people.
Even the kid can smell it.
Killing people? Like straight offing them?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
You mean like lately? After the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. This is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Going straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him? Fucking tell this cop.
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the Commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
He's practically admitting to it.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them this spring. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Classia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up. You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit. Fucking imbecile.
The maker is Sensorique. The model is Cordobe, and the size is 43. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The kid gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
Bet you've been sneaking around a lot. Hidden. Know any secret paths? Cuno knows paths.
I may. Classier. With the victim.
There is a small tremble, looks like a smile, a crooked smile, yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
You're lost, Dwat. You're lost. Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Maybe 4.
Got nothing to say about that boomstick, huh? You joking? That's the stick that did it.
It's a real gun. Not like the little musketeer pistols you RCM fascists have. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons?
He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting.
You let them all die. Pranced around. Let your little friend be shot too. Who are you trying to prove this to, huh? Your friend? He's not here. The world will rejoice when he dies. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol. I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them. In phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Fucking hell.
Moronic, gloating psychopath.
Quick, a motive, while the iron is still hot. Get one out of him. He could say he was taking a fall for someone. Disoriented, tortured. It's useless in court without a motive. Don't mess this up.
I'm always looking.
You always peeping on people through your scope like that?
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like what you see?
Click.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Them fucking. I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore.
For him to stop reacting to stimuli, to be broken off from the world, cordoned into darkness.
And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything. There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. Woman.
And inexplicably, it doesn't go with his pained voice.
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Feld building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving. hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared. Her passport and ticket to Villiers, and from there to Cachet Brut.
In the free state of Seminine.
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
The bruises. Can you make that out in a scope? And the fact that she was a spook. How did he come to that?
You can't see that through a scope. It's just a blur there.
It quickly comes to you.
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating with a clip point knife.
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Like that, too? Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny. Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake.
Yeah, the lightning gets shit going. Speed freaks fucking in the bushes.
He must know his way around a creaky floorboard and a rusty hinge on a door.
I can just walk in the hostel now after a good wash. They all think I'm an antisocial, a vagrant. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty then. I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
What about them?
There, he's already admitted to it. Just ask.
I did. I shouldn't have. It was a mistake. I was there one night, and she was crying, like a child in the corner of her room, on the floor. I'd never seen her do that before. The day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. Maybe I have these holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you. Her.
It was about bitches.
Where is she, that Classier? I haven't seen her there for days. Good for her. That girl kept staring into the scope, you know. In the end, this last week, kept staring at the island. At night, crying or smoking on the roof, like she knew I was here. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revit, on the platform, a young... He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette.
We can totally get more out of him. He's squealing.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years?
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting, and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of weight.
Do you understand?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
We don't need your permission. We do need to talk about that boat, though. How are we gonna take him?
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat? What?
What a farce. What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Yeah, I can fucking see it.
If he can see it too, then you're not totally insane. But that would mean it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water. The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like struck, no reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Whoa! Maybe it's poison? Fucking hell!
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
This is so sick! It likes you?
The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
I exist. Tell me what it's like for you. Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts, and all the earth is filled with his glory. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist, shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache. Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and rotting glass. Eternal damnation, even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you. That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when a vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? Yes, no one detected me for such a long, long time. For thousands of years, I dithered, out of sight. Trapped myself in greenery. No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years. No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. No, no one believed they exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the city's militia in Revershaw, district of Martinez, March 51. No, you are. The moral of our encounter is I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are total extreme madness. A volatile senior nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all. You are a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Also, very, very dangerous.
Doesn't look like you're spazzing out. Cuno knows all about seizures. You're just staring at the giant insect. Cool, so's Cuno. Cuno's also having a vision of a giant insect, and it's real. Back off before it eats you.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident. No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class. She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
as you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone. Between those reeds there. Fucking Helican.
What now?
Yo, our suspect's not looking so good. We need to check on him. Also, it looks like the phasmid had some kind of nest there. Look, like a horde, man.